Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to the Lavish Safe Space podcast. Today is May 14th. Woo! It's almost Friday, guys. Almost Friday. But let's get into today's message. Let's be honest. You're not always going to feel motivated, and you're not always going to feel inspired. I don't know how many of us go through that, but I definitely have dealt with that. Not feeling motivated, not feeling inspired, but guess what? You ain't got no choice but to show up. I want you to understand you do not have the choice to say that you're not going to show up for yourself. You are going to show up anyways, okay? I'm saying that again. You are going to show up anyways. If you have to drag your feet out of the bed, show up. Because guess what? That right there is your discipline. That is your discipline. That is your discipline on so many levels. We always want to stay in bed. We always want to just relax, unwind, and we're always exhausted sometimes. But showing up for yourself, being disciplined with yourself, that's the goal. Because consistency is not based on feelings. That is something. It's so hard. It is so hard. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It is so hard. There's days where you just don't want to. But it is based on our commitment. It is based on our decisions to keep going. Even when it's inconvenient, even when it's uncomfortable. Because every time you show up, you reinforce your identity. So we all have set a goal. I said, oh, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go do this, and this. And then we didn't do it. We're all subject to this. I've done it myself. But one thing we have to understand is that even when we don't want to do it, we have to do it. One thing I am so proud of is that I am continuing my podcast. It is hard to juggle this. Also, I am in school. Also, I am a mom. Also, I just got married. Also, I am trying to write a book. So there's just so much going on, but showing up is key. So I'm proud of myself for continuing my podcast when there's been times where things were very uncomfortable and inconvenient for me, and I'm just like, how am I going to get this done? But guess what, guys? I didn't stop. I kept going, and I'm still going. Even if a video is late, I'm still going. So it's those moments that really matters, okay? You become someone who follows through, and that builds your confidence when you keep going. So today I just want you to show up for yourself. Even if it's not perfect, you don't have to be perfect. Remember, I am a perfectionist, so if I'm telling you you ain't gotta be perfect, trust me. You ain't gotta be perfect. Even if it's not your best, sometimes we want to redo stuff over and over to make it better, but it's like 9 times out of 10 it was just fine the first time. But I just want you to remember, show up even when you're tired, even when you're stressed, even when you're just out of it. Show up. Please show up for yourself. Now, with that being said, guys, let's affirm for today. I show up regardless of how I feel, because guess what? We don't have the choice. We have to show up. I am committed to my growth. My consistency creates my confidence. And with that being said, guys, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.